I just love karma, don't you? Like it's just yum, 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 yum. So obviously the narrative this offseason was the fact that Kirk Cousins left the Vikings for the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, we dealt with that all offseason. Everybody basically choking on the Falcons, saying that they are going to be Super Bowl contenders. Basically saying that Kirk Cousins was the greatest thing since sliced bread with the Falcons, even though they hated on him when he was with the Vikings. I digress. But anyway, after the Minnesota Vikings took on the Falcons today, I got a little bit to say, especially since the Vikings just shellacked the Falcons. 42-21 was the final score, and we're going to go over it, guys and players that were winners and losers. And we're going to start here. So, man of the match is Sam Darnold, a player of the game. I mean, just 22 of 28, 347 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 saddle, 9 interceptions. And it was incredible to see because, again, it was the narrative all offseason. Sam Darnold sucked. The Vikings sucked. The Falcons were going to be Super Bowl contenders. And then Sam Darnold comes out and pulls this. And I think now the Vikings extend their streak to, a 6-game winning streak, including a couple of tough ones here, a couple on the road now, the second straight one at home now. And yeah, they got to go play the Seahawks and everybody to really seal this thing up. But fantastic. Sam Darnold just being a baller, just slinging it all over the place. Looked really, really good today. Also, speaking of looking really, really good, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, the dynamic duo at wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings, combined for 15 catches, 265 yards, and 5, count them, uno, dos, cinco touchdowns. Looked fantastic out there. And so Jordan Addison 8 for a $133 and 3. Also Justin Jefferson 7 for a $132 and 2. Fantastic to see. This offense looks like it was humming against a pretty good defense, but like not a bad defense, but not a good one either, but kind of middle of the pack. So good to see that from the Vikings as well. Aaron Jones, 13 carries, 73 yards and a touchdown. Also had 2 catches for 11 yards on the day. TJ Hawkinson looked pretty good too. He had 4 catches for 45 yards, being that security blanket for the Vikings. Cam Akers had himself 5 for 37. Had that big run there late in the game that was really going to put the Vikings the game away for the Vikings. And offensively, like this thing was just humming. We'll get to the offensive line. Trust me, it was god awful in my opinion. Also, Josh Oliver 1 for 26. Good to see him back, getting some targets and everything. Defensively, so this first half defense, I swear, I know that the Falcons, they've got weapons and everything, but the defense in the first half really had to play better. For at least 3 quarters, it was rough. But Blake Cashman led the way with 7 tackles. He was tied with Josh Metellus, who had 7 tackles and an interception. This defensive line with guys like Jalen Redmond, had a couple of tackles for loss. The Falcons really did what they want on the ground. They ran for over 100 yards, 158 rushing yards on the day for the Falcons. But I will say that definitely stepped up there in the fourth quarter when you needed it to the most. Secondary kind of in a way got torched at times too, but guys like Byron Murphy came away with an interception. Also, Jamin Davis Jamin Davis, really good to see him get kind of involved. Had a sack with the likes of the rest of this defense flying around and everything. And so, I really felt like this defense, it's still really tough to see, but I do think that's a really good defense. The Falcons have a good offense and they got weapons, and so they're professional players too. But you do still wish that the defense would have been a little better. And that's kind of our fizz outs, kind of goes into our losers, if you will. So the defense just for the first 3 quarters largely pretty much got torched, and obviously in the fourth quarter they stood up, didn't allow another anything for the rest of the game, and that was really good to see. But I mean, Kirk Cousins and company, they were moving the ball with ease, they were running the ball any way that they wanted, and those cutback lanes were open. We need to get that figured out. Darnell Mooney went off 6 for a $142. Also Ray McLeod III 8 for 98. Drake London 5 for 70. So they were able to throw the ball on us today and run the ball, so it was tough overall. But the Vikings also got some key turnovers, which did help them out as well. The offensive line was god awful. I don't know what we do at this point. We got to figure it out though, because Sam Darnold was running for his life, and despite that, had himself possibly his best game of the career, arguably one of the better quarterback performances we have seen this season. And so, the offensive line's got to get better. The defense for 3 quarters was atrocious, and special teams largely getting that fumble recovery there late in the game really did help seal it. So that was a good thing. But overall, Will Reichard, I'm still kind of questioning what's going on with Will Reichard. I understand that he's coming off of being injured and all of that, and this was after he basically missed the last 4 games after he went to 0 for 2 there earlier in the season. I believe against the Colts, if I'm not mistaken. But hoping he can really kind of grind things out here, get a little bit better, but we'll have to see overall. But overall, hey, it's a win for the Vikings. Things are looking good. You are happy. 11-2, what it do, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the season. But overall, let us know what you guys think. The Vikings beating the Atlanta Falcons. I love it. Yum, 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 yum. 42-21 to move to 11-2 on the season. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next video.